So what do we have here? Oh, yeah.
We've got a
Hello, non-Bugatti man.
Yeah, this is for Bugatti owners.
Anyway, yeah,
only.
but,
This is the club, not the club.
Excuse me.
Oh, so the person that started the hypercar club. Okay, and now I'm getting kicked out?
I don't know if started's the right word, Freddie.
Well, you know, it's in spirit. I'm the first one that bought a hypercar. and
Vroom, 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 vroom. Is that what you do in it?
Yes.
Welcome to Hoovie's Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube. And I am at the Hilton Head Concours in South Carolina. And I am the featured velocity collector for the show. So they've roped me off like a zoo animal on this putting green here with 4 of my cars. And you saw in my last video that I bought a Bugatti Veyron. I completely lost my mind. Bought a broken Bugatti that is still in pieces in Chicago and traded 2 of my hoopties for it. I revealed one of them, the BMW Z8, that is now in Chicago, going off to somewhere else. And the second car, a lot of you guessed it, it is indeed my Lamborghini Countach. And I thought this would be a great way to send it off. Have one last hurrah with this thing on the East Coast and then let it go. But this is like the most fun I've ever had with this car. And now I have to get rid of it and go into absolutely massive crippling debt, more than my mortgage on my house, to buy a different car. So I feel like a complete and total moron. So today I'm going to talk about my 4 years of ownership with this Countach, how amazing it was, how dumb I am for selling it, and then we're going to visit someone else who's recently taken the plunge on the Veyron, and then finally do the last drive and say goodbye. This will be the last time I ever see this car. It'll go on a truck in Hilton Head and then go off, and this is it. I'm such an idiot. So this Countach is the only car that I timed right as far as rapid appreciation. It was the luckiest buy of a lifetime. December 2020, an eccentric neurosurgeon who lived just a few miles from me on a dirt road, he had a Diablo and this Countach, and he wanted to sell them both for about what he paid for them 10 years before. They were already starting to appreciate a little bit, but I was able to buy the Diablo and the Countach, sell the Diablo for what I paid for both, or a little bit more, so I included the repairs. And I had a free Countach for 4 years and rode that train as they went up a lot. In the first couple of years, I drove this thing quite a bit, put a couple thousand miles on it. The most fun part was definitely the Countach rally in Monterey, California. Over 50 Countaches all together. Got to do a lap of Laguna Seca in it as well. An amazing experience. And after the initial sorting, it was very, very reliable. It had been sitting for years, so the tires had flat spotted. I was able to find replacements very easily for them. So they're, I think, 2020 date code tires. And the only thing that almost left me stranded was the ignition box, which you can't even see. The V12 is back here, and take 2. The V12 is back here. Come on. The V12 is back here, and you can see it's a big mess, but these are the most reliable Countaches of the bunch. These in-run, thanks to the Bosch fuel injection on both sides that you saw in Mercedes, saw in so many other things. So when I saw that, it didn't feel like a totally foreign world to me, but all this spider web of fuel injection here versus a bunch of carburetors, which do sound better and produce more power, they're the more desirable of the cars, the downdrafts, the big hump in the rear, but not the most reliable one. So this one has been very good in that department. All this smog stuff is still hooked up, and it's very original, 19,000 kilometers, except for what lives right here. You can see some of the ignition wires going. It had its original Magneti Marelli ignition system in there, and it was acting up. It was the only time it almost left me stranded, where it was missing out. Made it to the Car Wizards though, and thanks to unreliable Jaguars and Lucas the Prince of Darkness electronics, MSD made a 12-cylinder ignition in the 80s and 90s that matches up to these pretty well. So finding that, it's in a panel where you never see it, but it's running on modern American MSD ignition, one of the more popular conversions on these cars. So with that being done, a few other little things, it was sorted, it's reliable, and it's really never given me any problems at all in 4 years of ownership. And it's just a stunning car. But that rapid appreciation made me pretty nervous to drive this thing, because I didn't want anything bad to happen to it, especially with this very rare pearl white paint that is original. And you know, there's some wear with the flex of the fiberglass, but otherwise in really, really nice shape. But I bopped this bumper, I scratched anything. There is no matching this pearl white paint up, so I'd have to repaint the entire thing. The other scary thing is you got to be really careful with the clutch because the clutch lives right about here. There's no belt service on these like the Ferrari Testarossa that I have, but when the clutch goes, it is full engine out, massive replacement. While you're there is, you know, $30,000, $50,000, and I never had to do that. The clutch has always been strong, so incredibly fortunate in that sense. And some people don't like the 25ths because of all the styling, sort of like the Testarossa that was added at the end, all the side strakes and things. I personally love it. Why not have the wildest, craziest looking Countach of the bunch, especially with the most usable, reliable setup for the V12 in the back. So I love this thing. You know, a little bit of wear on the interior that would easily clean up, but still the original delivery plastic over this kick plate down there has never been taken off. I've always had ice cold air. Everything's always worked electronically, knock on wood. The only issue I've really been having is this door. It's been getting a little saggy here on the Concours field. I've been showing it with the doors up, and overnight when it gets cold, this one's gotten a little sad and saggy a little bit. Once it warms up in the day enough, it stays up. So I guess I am giving it to Chicago Motor Cars for him to resell with that one issue. But there is somebody here that can look at it for me, and that's the car wizard. He's here in Hilton Head as well, so well, maybe he can give me some advice. So I can get a wizard inspection here on my own little putting green. The Maybach 62 is very heavy and leaving big divots on the ground, so I do feel very bad for that. But yeah, I got to bring 4 cars out to Hilton Head: the Countach, the SLR, the 599 gated conversion, and yeah, the Maybach. And they gave me my own little sign right here. And it's just kind of fun because all 4 of these cars were down their luck at one point, and well, now they're all looking very, very pretty here. So yeah, big day for me. But before the car wizard looks at the Countach at Hilton Head, BetterHelp is the sponsor of this video, and they're on a mission to make starting therapy easier. A few years ago, I was one of those guys that had everything that I ever wanted, but I wasn't happy most of the time. There was a paralyzing darkness where getting little things done seemed impossible sometimes. I also had bursts of anger every once in a while, and I wasn't taking care of myself. And I think you all saw it a little bit in my videos. So when I was matched with a BetterHelp therapist and started actually talking about it with a professional for the first time, it helped pull me out of it to the point where this goofy YouTuber is the happiest that he's ever been. BetterHelp is a platform where therapists and their clients can communicate effectively and get the most out of therapy. There's also lots of tools like a private journal for your own self-reflection and group sessions on different topics available every day. Just fill out a questionnaire and BetterHelp will match you with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. And one of the best features is that if a therapist isn't the right fit, you can easily switch to another one until you find someone that you connect with. They carefully make sure therapists on the platform are well qualified, and their customer support team is there to help you if you have any questions. And with over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. So if you're struggling and you'd think you'd benefit from a therapy session, click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/HooviesGarage and get 10% off your first month of therapy. Wizard, you're playing with my horse's rear end there?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah, the 599 needs to come to you. The valve cover gasket leaks have gotten a little worse. When I took it off the lift, it had left a small puddle.
It's finally time, huh?
But this one's staying. The Countach is the one that is going away. I haven't told you yet, but yeah, this is the one I traded in on the Veyron.
So this is what helped you join the Ed Bolian Bugatti Club?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I'm going to be very sad about that. Actually, I was able to buy this Rolex off of that car.
He jokes about it on the computer, like what he shops for. Look, there's a nice date just here. So, very nice, Wizard. But there is one problem. I guess I am sending it to Chicago Motor Cars with one thing, because it sat out here in the cold overnight, and this door's having trouble staying up. Like,
oh, well, that's an easy fix. It just Blue Chew, man.
But seriously, no, I don't have that as a sponsor. So please, like, maybe I'll get them as a sponsor to help pay for Bugatti. So, like, if you want to, so is it the strut here? What do you think?
Well, yeah, it looks like the strut's blown. There's a lot of grease. You see the oil there?
Oh, yeah.
On the shaft?
Yeah. No, it's the shaft shouldn't be that lubed.
So if oil is there, that means all the gas charge has gone out.
Yeah. Okay, but it's not a very hard fix.
No, it wouldn't be a terrible fix at all.
So I guess I am sending it with one issue, but otherwise, I mean, the clutch is good. The AC still blows cold. It's been, after you got your Rolex money, it's been super reliable. Yeah.
I've actually made that comment to a few friends. It's actually been one of the more reliable cars for you.
I know. Yeah. Yep, and I'm trading it off for a car that is famous for its insane service costs. But there is one man that has made the plunge before me, so yeah, we can go into this crazy idea together of Bugatti ownership, and he actually is showing his car. So
Yeah, I saw it. It was beautiful.
I'll go see Ed.
Yes.
Vinwiki.
Time for VinWiki.
A horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course. That is, of course, unless the horse is the famous Mr. Ed. Go right to the source and ask the horse. He'll give you the answer that you endorse. He's always on a steady course. Talk to Mr. Ed.
Okay, I feel like I'm making less of a mistake now.
It's pretty cool, huh?
It is very, very cool. But I decided to have a send-off for the Countach by bringing it to a concours where it's all getting all the adoration and all the coolness. Everything is the prettiest thing I've ever seen. And then it is going off into the sunset. I feel like a total moron for making the switch and going into all this debt for this. But I figure I get propped back up from the second poorest Bugatti owner on the planet, right?
I think we still got to arm wrestle for that title. I think you might have me still.
Oh no. But yours is the slower one, though.
Oh, yeah, because the roof comes off.
Yes. Can you give us a tour?
I can.
So what do we have here? Oh, yeah.
We've got a...
Hello, non-Bugatti
Yeah,
man.
this is for Bugatti owners,
Anyway,
owners
yeah,
only.
but,
This is the club, not the club.
Excuse me.
Oh, so the person that started the hypercar club. Okay, and now I'm getting kicked out?
I don't know if started's the right word, Freddie.
Well, you know, it's in spirit. I'm the first one that bought a hypercar. and
Vroom,
then-
vroom, vroom, vroom. Is that what you do in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right, well,
That's
ours
what he
don't
does-
have
he
to be
does in
pushed.
his. He hasn't driven his.
Anyway,
All right.
at the tour, fellow Bugatti man.
That's right.
Freddie,
This is my 2012 Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport. Originally the Frankfurt Motor Show car in 2011, then sold to one of the partners at Symbolic, who was later arrested for trying to fix a mayoral race, and then to Birdman of Cash Money Records, then given to Justin Bieber as a present. That's Chris Brewer. We're at the Hilton Head Concours. Can you hear me over Chris Brewer?
Stop talking for a little bit.
And he's becoming a friend. Frankie Muniz and his family is here. We got a special guest star part of this.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Testing, 1, 2. Okay.
Oh, it's so good to be here. We've had an amazing.
Oh, Malcolm in the Middle sort of interrupting our little thing here, but
Not your biggest fan, I hear.
oh, we had an encounter, but yeah. Here, why don't we just hop in? Let's just
Floyd Mayweather's- Oh, it's locked. Yeah, but you're now allowed to open the door.
Ah.
That's it.
Is that the high-speed key? Ed?
No, the speed key is still missing.
Very nice.
That's right. It's only 229 miles an hour.
Yeah, and then the Elvis airplane in the background, but
It's a nice
the thing
touch.
about Concours is it's virtually impossible to film anything here, get anything done with the music and the interviews and all that stuff happening. But it's my first time seeing your car, and wow, yeah, I couldn't get all this deployed because my center console was disengaged. So
That's right.
yeah,
That's
all right.
it. Handling mode. You can't go very far in handling mode because it's barely an inch off the ground, but hey, it looks really cool. And look at my license plate.
Yes.
I got the perfect Ed Bolian license
yeah,
plate.
on a Taurus for 20 plus years or
That's
something,
right. Off of a 2001 Ford Taurus. And unfortunately, its owner passed away, so I was able to get their license plate.
Yeah.
You can put your luggage back here.
That's what it's for.
Oh, that's a
it.
good idea.
It's like a luggage rack. Well, you can't put luggage anywhere. That is the thing. So you mentioned maybe road tripping your car back. Just tell April to pack light because it is the front gets like 160 degrees.
Yeah.
And it's half the size of a Gallardo. So
The back, I think, gets a little
that's
hotter.
where you go. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
You have a tire issue to deal with because they are.
They're hard.
Oh,
they
and
are
they're
thin.
balls.
They're a little
You're
ball.
driving this thing hundreds of miles already on almost slicks.
Yeah, but slicks have more grip.
Okay.
How much are the tires, Ed?
The last quote I got was 39 grand.
Okay.
But supposedly the factory's going to come out with a wheel design next year that will accept an off-the-shelf tire. So hopefully the ones that you've got on your HREs are the right size that they'll eventually recommend.
Yeah.
But,
Only a decade and a half after the car's
they're
finished
getting
production.
around to it. They're
yeah,
getting
yeah,
around
we
to it.
figured out a tire.
So Freddie, when is your Bugatti coming?
Listen, man, okay, we're just having a good time here. I don't think that we need to bring all these personal issues into play. Like, come on, I want, so you have a red one,
Yeah.
and you have a blue one.
I think Malcolm in the Middle is going to require you to talk like into Ed's chest. Yeah.
So you have a red one, and
Yeah.
you have a blue one.
Right.
I need a white one.
I know where there is one. I know where there is one. Well, now, what if Houston would toss keys on your P1 as is?
No, I like my P1. Also, I don't think anybody would trade me anything on that car.
I don't know. Houston Crosta, if you're watching, and you should be. maybe a deal.
Well, you got a ribbon, which is very cool because
Someone vandalized my car.
it's the first time I think this car's gotten any good provenance ever, rather than, you know, like a woman twerking on it in a music video.
Justin Bieber did fart in this car.
That's all of its accolades before, but now it actually has something fancy to give it credit towards, so like ever. So
Best in class.
a new world, a new era for this Veyron. So
Which class was
We're
this?
coming up. Class
Yeah.
of broken hypercars.
Was this a remedial class?
That's it. That's it.
well, all right, congratulations, Ed. I need to now go take my Countach off the lawn and drive it for the last time.
Oh,
I was a prisoner.
it's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
Worthwhile. You made a good decision.
Now, before we do our last official drive, I have to do the parade here on the Concours. Here's the Radwood era cars, including a McLaren F1, which the photo guy's kind of blocking. There she is. Whoa. And an F50. Holy moly. But yeah, this is the only way I can see in this thing, the visibility, to be able to see obstacles and, oh, this big hump that I'm not going to clear. I'm going to have to go left of the hump. So once we're done with the parade, then I'll actually take this car out for its last drive. It's got to behave itself for just a few more miles, and then I guess it's not my problem anymore. Kind of sad. April, are you sad? Yeah. Well, the Concours is over, and so is my life with this car, the ownership of this car. I'm not going to go off-roading and mudding in it or anything stupid like I did some other cars that I had sold and then one last drive before delivery, but I'll hear that V12 one more time. Oh my gosh. This was really stupid. I have that Alpine poster that my dad had in college and basically hung it over my crib when I was a baby. So the Countach was an ultimate dream car. And this isn't a moment of never meet your heroes, because there's so many great things about it. Great shifting transmission, amazing noise, 400 horsepower. A few years before this, it was the fastest car in the world. And it is really nice to drive. And it looks insane. The butts are minor. I mean, I don't fit in this thing, so it does give me a flat top with my weird hair. It takes me back to the 80s every single time I drive it, so I absolutely do not fit in this thing. And getting out is Lambo yoga. Thankfully, I have good hip mobility. And of course, backing up, there's no rear visibility at all, but that's it. There's not a lot of sacrifices to owning this. I talked about how amazing it was to own. Really not much drama at all happened with this thing. So it's just been a good car. And of course, I'm an idiot. The other thing is just buying it at the exact right time and the appreciation of buying a car that was, you know, worth somewhere in the hundreds, and then 4 years later it's worth over $500,000. It's just, it's unimaginable how lucky I got with this car. I mean, it literally saved me. I'm so sorry. Hopefully you go to a good home, somebody that cherishes you, loves you, because yeah, in the last year or so, I really haven't driven this car all that much, and yeah, it's a shame. Off into the sunset she goes. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully the next video is me taking delivery officially of the Veyron. That will very much soften the blow. I traded a car that works for a car that doesn't. It's still in pieces.